for staying with us. Let's quickly go to this story now. The story of more than 100 female students of the Government Girls Science and Technical College, DAPG, who were abducted on February the 19th, 2018 by the Boko Haram terrorists is not one to be forgotten in a hurry. While many of the girls have regained their freedom, Leah Sharibu still remains in captivity. Leah Sharibu, The Heroine of Faith, is a book that commends the unusual bravery of Leah Sharibu and her refusal to renounce her faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. The book also calls on the government to intensify efforts at ensuring that Leah is released and reunited with her family. Well, joining us in the studio is the author of the book, Rafiu, Kuteyi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And good morning, Nigerians.
Right. Now, it's been years since Leah Sharibu has been held in captivity. And so many things have been said, even after that time. Some said that she was married and so many things. But why do you think it was important to write this book about Leah?
Really, those reports were all confirmed. Is to celebrate Leah for her resilience, her bravery, and the demonstration of a genuine faith in God. And also to bring to bear the plight, her plight, because she's still the only one being left in captivity. Remember, 110 were adopted from Government Girls Science and Technical College. And in the process, I'm just trying to take us through the background story to Plight. Yeah. That the daredevil struck that very night, and about 110 were adopted. But in the process of being headed into being like cattle into the lorry, the 5 dead were dead. And after barely 2 months, the other ladies were returned through what the government called through back the door arrangements, something like that, yeah. And the only Leah is still left in captivity. And the report came to us that the reason why she's being led behind was because she has refused. She refused to renounce her faith. To me, that's very, very important. And that's where that is the reason why I believe God called my attention to her plight. One morning, if you allow me to say my mind, one morning, God called my attention to her issue. And it came in form of a question that among us all Christians, with our titles, positions, that how many of us can actually pay the price that Leah is still paying currently? That how many of us will not consider our life more important than our faith at the face of barrels of guns?
It reminds me of the Heroes of Faith.
Yeah, and that's where the title, Heroines of Faith. That actually, that's what Leah has done is not what anybody just switch away as though it's not important. That this girl should be celebrated. And God put it into my heart that I should write this book about her.
Okay, so it's been over 10 years, a bit, since she was abducted alongside.
No. About 6 years.
6 years, right?
You see.
Since she was abducted. Now,
precisely February 19, 2018.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you think there has been any change?
Not at all. Because the issue that took Leah to captivity is still very much with us, staring us in the face. Yeah. Nothing has really changed. Though non-state actors, governments are trying. However, the problem is not to be going away. It was actually Boko Haram terrorist group that abducted Leah. That was confirmed. Yeah. And remember, before Dapchi abduction, there was Chibok abduction. That was 2014. After Dapchi, series of abduction up to 2000 and
of school children.
Yeah, of school children, up to 2012. Yes. No, there was Kankara, Dandume, Ganjebe, series, yeah. No, among those abductions, one of the abductors that came back said she will never return back to school. What was her reason? Her reason was that because of the trauma she faced in the hands of Boko Haram terrorists. And remember, that is the whole essence of this campaign, Boko Haram campaign. Western education is forbidden. That is the interpretation of Boko Haram.
The change I was actually asking about, and pardon me if it seems maybe insensitive, is you mentioned that it was because of her faith, which is widely known that she was not released. And the change I was asking about is it again, is it still because of her faith that she's still in captivity? Or do you think things might have changed when it comes to her orientation? Because other young women that were abducted and released, some came with children. So do you think it's still the same status quo with Leah Sharibu?
I believe she's still maintaining her faith. I believe because although there's no clue as per her condition as we speak, but the best we had was that she was forced to renounce her faith and be married to one of the Boko Haram terrorist leaders. And in the process of air raid, the husband was killed, and she was being remarried. She had
the alleged husband. Yeah, because we do not know if
no, unconfirmed statements. We know I'm saying unconfirmed statements. These are the that came from, I think, Sahara reports. Gave us that report. That's then be married to second husband. That, as we speak, unconfirmed. She has 2 children. However, that I don't believe should change her faith. Yes, I don't believe.
Because of how she began.
It began, yes, thank you.
The prayer for some persons is, if you start strong, you finish strong. And it takes heed that, take her to stand, take heed lest he falls, and all of those. The condition around her, if it is really ensuring that she take her stand against some of the confessions she had made at the beginning. I know you believe that. Yeah. I'm not being negative or positive. I am just stating, the realities on the ground. Like you rightly mentioned, those that returned, the particular one that it said that she's not going back to school because of the trauma. And so one will also want to use that picture to paint around Leah Sharibu that she might have been going through, and she is going through actually, traumatic situation because she's not with her parents. She's not getting the nurturing of the family and all of it that has to do with her upbringing. And so she was forced to mature all of a sudden, which has its mental implications, whichever way we want to look at it. But what are the lessons for people who are in faith at this point? Because you mentioned earlier that those of us who occupy positions, do one thing or the other, we might just think through and say, you know what, we need to be smart and just renounce our faith as it is. But then again, there is a lesson there. She did not look at the smartness or the wisdom of the world to decide that, okay, I am not going to do these things. She decided to, sacrifice herself, if I may use that word, and, she's in captivity now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole lot to learn from this. Okay. As a matter of fact, what she did could be likened to what Jesus did. I don't know if I can talk a bit.
Why not?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go on.
thank you. Remember, Jesus Christ became what he is today on the mantra of sacrifice. Sacrificing his life for mankind.
Yes.
What has Leah done? The same thing, can be likened to that. Sacrificing her life for her faith. That's what she's doing, or she has done. So, if there are, if we have something to learn from, if there's a whole lot to learn from Jesus, then we also have something to learn
From Leah.
from Leah.
That at the times that we find ourselves, we must learn to hold on to our faith.
For our faith,
As against...
remain resilient.
All right.
Keep the faith as she's keeping presently. Yeah.
So, what is the essence of writing this book? Now,
Thank you, sir. This book was written to actually commemorate the 19th birthday of Leah Sharibu.
okay.
This book was launched May 14,
Oh, okay.
exactly on her birthday, 19th birthday at the Sheraton Hotel, Antowa, Kenya. And a whole lot of people gathered. I was happy because before that time, Leah appeared to have been forgotten. People appeared to have forgotten her. But on that very day, she was celebrated. Even TVC was there, Arise was there, and other television stations. So the purpose of writing this book is to bring to bear again her plight. And I want to thank God for this opportunity TVC is giving me this money to lend my voice to her issue.
Have you been able to reach out to her parents? Because at the heart of this is her parents as well.
Yeah.
I recall that there was a time we had her mother here,
Yes.
Okay.
and she wept sore
Yeah.
for not being able to communicate with her child. It was one of the birthdays. If every other person forgets, her parents will not. And I'm wondering if you, despite writing this, you have been able to reach out to them to also feel their pulse on the absence of their child.
Thank you for this question. No, I've not been able, but I've attempted. But in the process of writing this book and attempting to get to the parents, I discovered that the issue of Leah has been politicized.
Really?
How so?
What did you find?
Yes.
What did
Thank
you find out?
Thank you. There's a Leah Foundation presently being championed by Dr. Gloria Pulu, based in Just. So, my first intention is to find a way to reach the parents of Leah. I reside in this part of the country, and they are far north of there. So I started making some attempts on how they can be reached. But I have not been able to make any headway. The only person I remember I contacted, I don't know if I'm permitted to mention names.
You contacted someone?
Yes, from someone. Yeah. And that someone linked me to another person. And as we were discussing, these were people in the Christian faith, elders in the Christian faith.
Right.
Yes. So I don't want to mention name.
No, yeah, so you can
response-
just...
Yeah. So he told me that he's been with the...
Parents.
No. The head of the Leah Foundation.
Right.
But what he found that there are lots of protocols that people wants to, whatever people are doing for Leah is maybe for their own self-glory.
So
I'm not caught up for that.
in other words, the response wasn't encouraging for you.
No, it wasn't encouraging. I was like, It's been politicized. Let me put it that way.
I'd really like to understand what the person meant by, oh, it's for their own self-glory and all. So did the person say he or she cannot give you the number to the parents? Did they have it and they didn't want to give?
He didn't give me.
He has it?
I believe, but he didn't give me.
So it's not difficult to reach her parents?
Yes, but I would love to reach her parents, honestly.
So how do you think?
And I'm looking forward that one day I will see Leah.
If you face this kind of challenge,
yes, sir,
in trying to even meet the parents or meet the family of Leah, how do you think this might have hampered
government
efforts
to get her released?
Getting her released.
I didn't get that.
How do you think, if he's talking about the difficulty you encountered in trying to reach the parents, that how is this also standing in the way of getting her release, especially when you talk about government's involvement? The parents had said that they are unable to reach government, and now you are talking about the challenges there. So you think that this is also hampering her release, especially by the government?
Well, I wouldn't know, but I can only speak for the people I've met. Yeah. But what I've discovered is that there's no unity of voice.
Right.
Yeah, concerning this lady. And God said a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. So everybody is like, I'm doing it, and I'm doing my own. This one is doing his own, this one is doing her own. And there's no unity, there's no cohesion in terms of coming together, raising a singular voice concerning Leah. That's what I've learned.
So everybody is paying lip service.
Yes.
And so not putting the right pressure on government.
On the government, yes, ma'am. My intention was to have Leah's parents during this event, but I couldn't achieve that. I was unable to achieve that. But I will still want.
You're not giving up?
I'm not. Certainly I'm not.
Okay. In all of this now, and you've written this book basically to create more awareness, is there plans to also ensure that young girls can gain access to this book?
Sure. It's for the public consumption.
Right.
There's a whole lot to learn from this book, sincerely.
Okay.
Now,
the other thing I would like to point out from the book, you said Leah needs our prayers.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. Do you have a prayer community that is praying for her and praying about her wellness and all of it, or is just a statement made here?
Thank you very much. I remember towards the launch of this book, I worked with some other groups that have been championing her voice before I came in.
Yes.
A lot of prayer were raised towards the program and towards Leah's release. And I remember we had one online prayer that connected all of us globally. I also have learned that the issue of Leah is global, has gone beyond Nigeria.
Absolutely. Remember the Bring Back Our Girls campaign? Yeah. And then, Dr. Ezekwesili was pushing this. I wonder if you also tried to reach her to, be a part of this. Yes.
Yeah. Certainly, she forwarded the book.
Yes. Okay. Yes, that's true.
Book,
She forwarded the book.
Yeah.
If she also perhaps had her parents' contact, if she could lead you to someone, the connection and all. But then the prayer that you mentioned.
But personally, I pray for Leah.
Okay.
That one I can't say from here. And I pray for Leah by the grace of God.
On a daily basis?
By the grace of God, hoping that one day we'll meet.
Of course. Yeah. You can't give up now.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But there was a whole lot of prayer towards a release during the book launch as well.
Okay. So, what about global efforts at putting pressure on the government to effect or to push for her release? Do you think that the world has forgotten about Leah?
I think so.
Why do you think so?
Yeah, because Leah was adopted 2018, and the government do promise that they will do everything possible to get her released. Yes, to secure her release, but that has not happened. That has not happened.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But then, if you
So
think
in a
that
way,
she has been forgotten,
in a way, yeah.
in your book, you said, why keep hope alive?
It's keeping hope alive.
Against
So what
hope,
should you-
against hope, we will still.
Oh, like
we will still,
Abraham, who hoped against hope, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you're writing.
Exactly. Contrary to hope, we stay hope.
Hoping that, because you have said it, that you're hoping that you see her one day, hoping that she'll be released one day. I believe that that's what it is for everyone, hoping that she'll be released after one day. And I'm certain her parents too are also hoping that she'll be released at some point. We'll have to leave the conversation here now.
Thank you so much.
We must thank you, Rafiu Kuteyi, author of the book, Leah, Sharibu, Heroine of Faith. How can people get this book?
It's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
All right. That's interesting. So,
Yeah, and PayPack.
okay. All right. So if you need the book, just head over to Amazon. You get it by Rafiu Onlarinwaju Kuteyi, Heroine of Faith, talking about Leah Sharibu. Thank you so much for your
It's a
time.
pleasure being here. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. You're welcome. Now we will go for our entertainment wrap.